Innovation, vision, perseverance. These words define one of the most iconic figures in technology, a man whose ideas shaped the world we live in today. This is the story of Steve Jobs, the man behind Apple, and the mind that revolutionized how we communicate, create, and live. Childhood and early life. Stephen Paul Jobs was born on February 24, 1955, in San Francisco, California. He was adopted at birth by Paul and Clara Jobs. Growing up in Mountain View, which would later become Silicon Valley, Steve showed a fascination with electronics from a young age. His adoptive father, a machinist, introduced him to the world of mechanics and electronics, sparking the curiosity that would shape his future. Despite his natural intelligence, Steve was a rebellious and sometimes difficult child. He found traditional education boring and even described himself as a troublemaker. However, one high school electronics teacher, Paul Fine, saw his potential and encouraged him to follow his interest, college, and the early days of Apple. In 1972, Jobs enrolled at Reed College in Portland, Oregon, but after just one semester, he dropped out, feeling that formal education wasn't fulfilling his need for creativity. Yet, he continued to audit classes, learning calligraphy and design, subjects that would influence his work at Apple. In 1976, at the age of 21, Steve Jobs co-founded Apple Computer with his friend Steve Wozniak. They started in Jobs' garage, working day and night to develop the Apple I, a computer kit that appealed to hobbyists. But it was the Apple II, launched in 1977, that revolutionized the personal computer market. For the first time, computing was brought to the masses, and Apple became a major player in the industry. The launch of the Macintosh. In 1984, Jobs introduced the Macintosh, a personal computer that would change the world. With its graphical user interface, the Macintosh set Apple apart from its competitor, and its user-friendly design paved the way for the modern computing era. But even as Apple rose to new heights, Steve Jobs was known for his perfectionism and sometimes abrasive leadership style. His relentless drive to innovate created tension within the company. And in 1985, following a power struggle, Jobs was forced out of Apple, the very company he had helped to build. Next, Pixar, and returned to Apple. Jobs wasn't one to sit idle. Shortly after leaving Apple, he founded Next, a computer platform development company that aimed to build high-end machines for education and business. Although Next didn't achieve widespread success, its technology would later become crucial to Apple's resurgence. In 1986, Jobs acquired the computer graphics division of Lucasfilm, which became Pixar Animation Studio. Under Jobs' leadership, Pixar produced Toy Story in 1995, the world's first fully computer-animated feature film, changing the landscape of cinema forever. Meanwhile, Apple struggled without Jobs. By 1997, the company was on the verge of bankruptcy. In a dramatic turn of events, Apple acquired Next, and Steve Jobs returned to the company he had founded, the Apple Renaissance. Jobs' return marked the beginning of Apple's greatest era of innovation. In 2001, Apple introduced the iPod, which transformed the way we listen to music. But it was the 2007 launch of the iPhone that truly changed the world. With its sleek design, touch interface, and app ecosystem, the iPhone revolutionized the smartphone industry and made Apple the most valuable company in the world. Jobs didn't stop there. In 2010, he introduced the iPad, ushering in the tablet era. Under his leadership, Apple became synonymous with innovation, design, and success, health struggles, and legacy. But as Apple thrived, Steve Jobs' health began to decline. In 2004, he was diagnosed with a rare form of pancreatic cancer. Despite undergoing treatments, Jobs continued to lead Apple with his characteristic intensity, even as his health worsened. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. On October 5, 2011, Steve Jobs passed away at the age of 56. His death was felt around the world, but his legacy lives on. Jobs left behind not only a company, but an enduring vision, one where technology can be beautiful, intuitive, and change lives. Final thoughts and legacy. Steve Jobs wasn't just a businessman or a designer. He was a visionary who believed in pushing the boundaries of what was possible. He challenged the world to think differently, and in doing so, he redefined technology and the way we interact with it. From the Apple I to the iPhone, Jobs' innovations continue to shape our world, and his impact will be felt for generations to come. Thank you, Steve, for your vision, your passion, and your relentless drive to make the world a better place.